Hey YouTube, this is R. Washam Knife coming at you again with another knife review. Today we'll be looking at the Byrd Hawkbill. Now just a little background on the Byrd Hawkbill. It's a cousin, brother, sister, whatever you want to call it, to the Byrd Meadowlark 2. And when I say that, basically what I mean is that the Meadowlark 2 is almost the same construction. The two knives just have different blade shapes. As you can see, the Hawkbill has a serrated Hawkbill shaped blade, and the Byrd Meadowlark has a more traditional drop point style blade. Some of you that might be familiar with Spyderco and Byrd knives will notice that the Meadowlark is the Byrd line version of a Delica, and the Delica is the baby brother of the Spyderco Endura. Now, Byrd also makes an Endura-sized knife called the Cara. I don't have one of those, but I hope to get one at some point to show you guys. You'll have to excuse the little hair on there. So anyways, the focus of this video is the Byrd Hawkbill. Just going over really quick the specs. It's almost 7 inches long from tip to tail there. The handle length is about 4 inches when the blade is closed. The blade length is almost 3 inches at 2.8 inches. And you get about 2 inches of cutting length. So it's got this nice finger choil right there that takes a little bit off of the cutting edge. Obviously you guys can tell the handle material is that nice FRN. The blade steel is going to be 8CR13 MOV, and this has been kind of the standard for budget knives from Spyderco. It's pretty nice. Honestly, it holds an edge well enough, and when it needs to be sharpened, it's fairly easy to sharpen. Now, this blade is fully serrated, as you can tell, and it has those nice Spyderco serrations, which is kind of a one big, two small divot pattern, and that really tears through a lot of things. Cardboard, your different paracords, nylon rope, all kinds of stuff. A couple other things that you might want to notice. It's got the nice Byrd hole, which is very similar to a Spyder hole. It's just a little more stylized into sort of a bird wing or a bird eye shape. It is pretty nice and thin. You don't easily feel that in your pocket, but the other dimension this way is rather large. So for those of you that like a really low profile knife, it's going to be thin in your pocket, but it's going to take up a lot of room in your pocket, from the spine of the blade to the spine of the backlock there. It has a nice sized lanyard hole. You can fit a lot of different paracord lanyards in that. It's got a pretty standard no frills pocket clip that in my experience has been very strong. Works just fine. Torque screw construction, so if you want to clean it out at some point, that's not going to be a problem. The backlock, because it is a backlock, it's fairly stiff, and it came fairly stiff. You could probably loosen it up a little bit and get some easier flicks out of it. But for the most part, I'm not really flicking this knife too much anyways. I really like to use this as a utility knife. It's got an excellent tip for, I don't know, some fine detail work if you want to do that, or picking a splinter out, or whatever you might need something pointy for. And those serrations, I can't say that enough. They just grab stuff and hold. And the Hawkbill shape plus the serrations is just excellent. Slicing, dicing, cutting up everything. It is, I believe it's hollow ground, and it is only ground up to halfway on the blade, which I think is pretty standard for a Hawkbill blade. I haven't seen too many Hawkbills that are full ground or anything like that. So overall, it's a great blade. I guess some other things I want to mention is that choil again. Choil's great. On the blade it does have some jimping, and the jimping is pretty effective, pretty rough. On the FRN handle, really the only thing that they have is that bi-directional texturing, which is pretty grippy. Grips your hand well. There's also some jimping, if you can see it on the spine of the blade there. Again, pretty effective, and it's at an angle that really holds your thumb, so you can really hold on to this knife. It's not going to fall out of your hands when it's wet or anything. The back lock has that boil dent on it. I've never really found that to be necessary, but Spyderco likes to put it on their knives now, so it's whatever. And there's the nice little Byrd Hawkbill symbol. Alright, thanks guys.